everybody. It's Jason, Premier Guitar. We're at the NAMM show in Anaheim. You just heard Brian from Dunlop.
Hi.
We are kicking off the whole show this morning.
Yeah.
By
I'm
talking
kicking off
about
the show with you.
That's right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what we heard on the intro, which you guys recently dropped a Dookie.
We dropped a deuce.
Yes.
We are very proud to announce our collaboration with the great Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day in honor of their 25th anniversary of the groundbreaking record Dookie.
Yep.
We teamed up with them and we came up with this pedal. And we bandied some ideas back and forth. Hey, let's do this, let's do that. And then Billy was like, you know what? I like what you guys did with the Van Halen 5150. Can we do that with my Dookie amps?
Oh,
so he has two highly modified MSLP Marshall Super Leads.
Pete and Meat.
I'm sorry?
They're named Pete and Meat.
Yes.
Yes.
So we got them at the shop. He's all here. I'll drop them off. You guys do your thing. And old Bobby Cedro right here, our engineer extraordinaire, he was like, okay, and he's tireless hours in the middle of the night deconstructing with his alchemy. And he made it happen. So there's two overdrives in this box. One side, there's a blend knob, and one side of it is Pete, I believe, is the cleaner one with the more mid-range.
Yep.
And then the Meat one is blended onto the left side, which is a little more scooped and a little more distorted. So here's what it sounds like. Bypass. Kind of cling. And then let's go all the way to the left. We'll go to Pete. So you're going to hear nice and articulate, it's a modified Marshall.
Yeah.
And then go over to Meat, which is a little more scooped, a little more...
A little more metal.
Yeah. So the cool thing is you can blend it right in the middle, and then you get a little bit of both. But the cool thing is if you want to just have an articulate, just kind of the Pete, more Pete, with a little bit of the Meat on the bottom. Or you can have it meaty with just a little bit of the articulation of the Pete. I know probably it's not transferring as well onto the camera, but you can feel the difference, and it's really, really cool.
We not only have the blend and kind of the typical gain level.
You got your output, which is the, the overall output of the pedal. You have the gain knob, which is the gain to the Meat side. Internally is the volume and the gain for the Pete side.
Okay.
And then we have a tone knob, and we have a scoop button. Here it is.
Tell us about the scoop button.
It's for you metalheads. So here it is, not engaged. Here it is, engaged. Not engaged. Engaged.
So when you guys were working on this with Billy, when you presented it to him and he's like, "Yep, this is gonna be the final. This is where we're gonna go with."
He didn't say anything. He just posted. He was up. And we're like, okay, I guess we're done.
I was gonna ask you, what's like the Billy Joel blend setting? What would be his?
I would. Well, it depends on the song. Because if you listen to the Dookie record, he's got both the things going, and sometimes it's cleaner, and sometimes it's a little more grungy.
When we fired it up, it was kind of probably more like in this area right now, just the default setting that he had.
Without the scoop.
Without the scoop.
I mean, here's the thing. To my ears and to my response and to my experience, you can get JTM 45 sounds all the way through to JCM like 900. So decades of all those great Marshall sounds that you hear on the records, you can clean it up, you can make it super scooped and metally, you can go from Eric Clapton to Slayer, which is pretty cool.
And also, it's very dynamic. When Brian will turn the guitar down and play, and listen to the cleanliness and the wholesomeness that happens, and then it goes back into full war.
That's because cleanliness is next to godliness. And then I'm rolling off the volume and...
Dig it.
It's kind of badass. I gotta say.
Absolutely. So that's not the only signature pedal we're talking about over here. So tell us about the Billy Gibbons.
We got the BFG Siete Santos. Old school Octavio wedge. You got to make the wedge because it has a transformer in there with like the original Roger Mayer design. And then Billy's all, you know what? I need a 7-band EQ on that. We said, we can do that. And so now you have like the great fuzzy goodness and you got 7 tone knobs.
There you go.
It's kind of cool. So, engaged. Really cool.
Yeah.
And he was easy too.
I bet. Right?
He's all like, yeah, that sounds great.
If you get people who know what they want and they can articulate it, or it's right there, it becomes a lot of fun to work with that.
Those are 2 signature artists that have complete different signature sounds. And great ears, great sounds, and we are lucky enough to work with these guys. Thank you, Mr. Armstrong and Mr. Gibbons.
Yes.
And Mr. Trips.
There we go. All right, Brian, so we talked about the Billy Gibbons one now. So tell us the price on the Billy Gibbons and the Dookie that we covered before.
Billy Gibbons, Street, $199. Dookie, $189.
189. And that's not all.
That's not all, folks.
We're looking at the Super Lead over there, the Way Huge Super Lead.
That's right, George Tripp's offering is a saturated, nice, fat distortion, and it sounds like this. Kind of metally, kind of rocky. You can turn that gain all the way up. Or you can turn the drive down and, you know, it's kind of like a nice dirty boost. Real nice sounding. I like it. I like it. I like it somewhere right in this little mid halfway up. Nice and saturated, all that fat goodness, all those, what do they call that? 2nd and 3rd order harmonics. Woo, almost like I know what I'm talking about. 129.
129 for that one. All right. So what else are we going to talk about here? Now those are 3 big
I'm
ones.
just gonna do something real quick.
Yep.
Daryl's going to show you guys the bass Dynacomp and the vintage bass octave. I have it on my board because I think it sounds really, really good on guitar. I'm going to engage the Duke. I'm going to give you a little bit of the, first I'll just show you. That's the comp. I got it kind of pushing the front end so it's lighting up the tube. Real nice and transparent. A little octave. A little bit of distortion. I bet it sounds good with the Billy Gibbons. That's cool. It's lots of fun. You know what? We make fun, people. That's what we do.
So when will all these toys be available for people to check out?
That, my friend, is a very good question, and I don't want to get nailed down, so I will say spring.
Okay.
Do you like that? And, you know, we have a whole bunch of accessories, too. For instance, this lovely Tortex Flow pick, something about this geometry is magic. And then we have this beautiful Pendleton strap. And we also have a whole line of guitar accessories, guitar tools, all kinds of cool stuff that we got for 2019. The home of NAMM, Winter NAMM, the home of fat old guys in skinny jeans that drop rock stars' names.
You picked it. You dropped something. Yeah.
I used to be in a band with Les Claypool before he was famous.
You too? All right. So where can people go online to find out more about this, Brian?
http:// I don't know. JimDunlop.com.
They'll find
It's
it.
super easy.
Easy to find.
And just go to Premiere. You got
right.
links.
Thank you so much for making the first one easy.
You guys rule. Thank you.
All right. This is Jason Shadrick with PremierGuitar.com.